being willing to fail authentically. So this is the first time that I'm recording this unscripted. So you're going to get a live, fresh example. Welcome to episode number 34. Hi, I'm Clarinda, and you are listening to the Feel Light, Mind, and Body podcast, created for women like you. Women who are experiencing success in so many areas of life, but are struggling with weight loss, stress eating, and decreased energy. Losing weight can feel hard, heavy, and restrictive. That's why every week I will be offering you a different perspective, tips, encouragement, and a unique approach so that you can feel lighter in your mind and body rather than feeling deprived, frustrated, or discouraged. What if you could feel free, yet in control around food for the rest of your life? What if you could enjoy your experience of losing weight and getting healthier? You absolutely can. You're in the right place. Take this time for yourself and let's dive in. I've been wanting to try this style of recording, but I just kept procrastinating. I would think about it and think maybe next week. Well, once I get more experience. And then I also thought, I don't want to ramble. And I caught myself and thought, that's an interesting thought, to ramble. Is that really what I think I would do? And there's some truth to that because my personality, those who know me when we're out for lunch, I can not ramble, but I can squirrel, especially if I'm passionate about something or there seems to be so much information that we're trying to get caught up on. But you know what? That is who I am. That's me being authentic. So can I clean it up? Can I prepare ahead of time? Yes, I told my brain I could. In fact, I have some points written down, typed out, but not full scripted. I want to give you the most value. And I think the belief that I had when I think about my choice of word of rambling is I have listened to some podcasts that I ended up turning off, changing to something else because I'm like, give me the meat. Give me the Coles Notes version and I'm going to move on. That's my personality. It doesn't mean everyone feels the same. And who says that I can't still do this in 10 to 20 minutes? I have no idea. This is me being willing to authentically fail as we move forward. Now, let's be real. I can also delete this. I can also press pause. I can re-record. I can do all of that. But I am wanting to be able to do this even with the imperfections in it. I remember, and this isn't in my notes at all, but I remember one of my very first life coaches, and that would have been 7 years ago. And she said once in an impromptu question that we had to be up in front of everyone, we didn't know what the question would be. She said, let's have you talk, I think it was 3 minutes, about the messy side of Clarinda. What if someone could see your messy side? How would that look? Start to tell me about that. And literally, you want to talk about fear, it came up within me. And I found that was a powerful exercise because, let's face it, we all put on our best self and our persona. And I think that's an okay thing if it's done still with authenticity. Okay, guess what? I already pressed paused. I thought, look, there you go. You're on a tangent. So that's okay. This is part of my practice. And as I'm practicing it, I'm going to encourage you to practice something that you have been avoiding, something that you are wanting or desiring to make a change of, but maybe you have somewhat in the past felt successful in an area, and now you're beating yourself up, you're giving yourself a hard time, you're thinking that you should know it by now. You should be farther ahead than where you're at. What if you said, that's okay? What if you thought of failing as learning? I know you've probably heard that before and maybe even applied it in certain areas, but what is that one area that has been evading you, that you're putting off, like I was? Oh, another time, later. Me recording it this way doesn't mean I'm going to continue to do it this way. This is an experiment. This is me seeing, how does it feel? How does my body feel? Is it helping me with my confidence and providing the right value for you? When I listen back to it, I'm going to really be intentional on listening, yes, objectively, but also with compassion. It is my first time, so I do not expect to be perfect when I'm sharing somewhat vulnerably and spontaneously. Let me tell you, I didn't even have a plan on doing this podcast this way. And what I'm jumping to next is actually on the back of this page to share at a later point. So we'll see how this comes together. I have to trust that what's coming to mind right now to just let it flow. Yesterday, I had a beautiful conversation with a new soul sister from Austria. She's asked me to be on her podcast show. So we were getting on to start to talk about that, what would be a good topic that would serve her listeners, that if I decided I would keep some clips and use it for you, what would best serve both of our audience. But all it took was one person to start to share authentically, to be really real when the other person asked, "How you doing anyway?" And as soon as we were willing to be vulnerable, then it just took a turn. And we went into some deep, authentic connection time. We ended up having to schedule again for this morning. And this is a result of us talking. She doesn't know I'm doing this. I didn't know when we ended, but just on reflecting on what is it that would help you, the listener, today? What's coming up from within me? What is my current experience that because of my past training and tools, maybe I'm more willing to fail. Maybe I'm more willing to lead the way and be a few steps ahead of you. That's all it takes. Then when I thought of, well, what would I even call this episode? And what came to mind was the authentic fails. I was like, I wonder if that's a term I've heard before. So of course I Googled it. And no, that wasn't out there. I then looked at the definition of authentic to make sure it fits with this concept that I was feeling to share. And I did copy and paste that, and I have it right in front of me, so I will read it. Put simply, authenticity means you're true to your own personality, values, and spirit, regardless of the pressure that you're under to act otherwise. And I might add, that pressure can be from yourself. You're honest with yourself and with others, and you take responsibility for your mistakes. Your values, ideals, and actions align. Bam! I knew that was the one out of all the others that I had read that I wanted to share with you. So if you come from that energy, that deliberate intention, I believe with practice that fear will not have as much of a hold on you. The fear that's holding you back won't feel so threatening. That's my experience even now. Before, when I thought of trying to record a podcast like this, my palms would break out in a sweat and I felt all shaky and I thought, no, that's not good. That's not going to be effective. And you know what? Let's listen to the compassionate self of me. Of course, that was going to feel foreign to me when I was in nursing and instructing and giving a lecture. Like, you had PowerPoints, you had it all out. Actually, we had, I don't even know what it's called now. You know, that machine you used to put your notes on and it would show up. Projector, that's it. Anyway, we were used to having that, and it was very much taught to be professional, very well prepared, well scripted. Again, I won't date myself, but I'm sure even that has changed in the way our society has changed and what we want and value more now. So maybe like me, you just need to give yourself a little space and time. However, if that space and time, if you know deep within, that's just a story, that's an excuse you're making just to take yourself off the hook and give yourself some relief right now, I would re-question it. Because is it really relief? It's only relief in the moment. Is it keeping you from something so much better, so much more rewarding, so much more healthy and comfortable for you? If you were willing to fail again, and think of it as learning, could it bring more ease to your life? Would your future self, who has been there, would she be encouraging you to, oh, no, don't try? Or would she be encouraging you, just try one more time? This could be it for you. So just go within for a moment and ask, when is the last time that I've opened myself up to trying something again, or even trying something new? And why? Maybe it's because you just don't like how it makes you feel. You don't like being scared. You don't like the uncertainty or the unknown. Well, guess what? None of us do. We all want to avoid any kind of negative emotion. We don't want to look stupid. We don't want to put ourselves at risk, even if it's only a perceived risk. In one of my earliest episodes, I think I've shared Brendon Burchard's life categories: the caged, comfortable, or charged life. If I asked you, which one would you like to be in? You probably won't say caged, or you can think of it as trapped. Yet, some of my clients, they come to me and they say they feel trapped or caged in their thinking, or in their health, or in their relationships. Now, if you say comfortable, you're probably listening to your primitive brain because it wants to keep you safe and it wants you to use as little energy as possible. But you probably know, if you're really honest and go within, you're simply failing ahead of time by not trying. It's a passive fail, not an authentic fail. An example of charged life is the energy I feel right now. I always say that fear and excitement are cousin emotions. Both are a heightened anticipation, but the thought that's most dominant will determine which way the pendulum will swing. If I think, I'm going to be so embarrassed, oh my goodness, I hope I don't fail, guess what? It's going to swing to fear. Fear of not being liked, fear of being judged, not looking good, not succeeding, or even sometimes, what happens if I succeed? What then? How can I handle that? However, if you think, I wonder where this will lead me. Even if I fail, what will I learn from this? What will I be more willing to do next? It's like we crack the door open to possibility. As your story unfolds, and if you get intentional support and do some thought work, which is something I help guide you through, you can move from fear of failing, fear of trying again, fear of being vulnerable, into a brave, courageous, willing, open, growth mindset, new you. And let me add, just again, from my present experience, being very aware, coming back to, how does my body feel? What am I thinking? When I notice myself looking down to my notes and realizing, oh my gosh, I'm not even following them. I'm so off course. I quiet that voice. And instead, I really turn up the volume on the one that says, hey, you're doing this. Good job. I haven't died yet. I'm still alive. In fact, I'm very much alive. So what can you practice this week? Even if it's a small step, something that you can practice turning the volume up on that compassionate, nurturing voice within you. Practice calming yourself by being gentle and loving and saying, of course, my love, you're feeling that way. Or even saying, how are you feeling? It's okay not to be perfect. Of course you feel this way. It's something new. And then remember that you value being real and connected more than you do perfection, that you want to grow, that you can't succeed at something unless you try. If nothing changes, nothing changes. So I invite you to let go of any embarrassment, any frustration or shame on what you're deeming as fails. What if your authentic fails leads you to the very next best thing? What if it can encourage someone else to be courageous? What if you become more attractive to someone because you're more relatable? And again, that doesn't have to look like dumping everything publicly, especially when it's fresh. That's what life coaches and therapists and friends and family are for. But once you're a few steps ahead with some insights, with some ahas, with some life learnings, then why not share with others? I know some of you, I read your Facebook posts and I'm inspired and I'm like, good for you. So as you move forward this week, hopefully this is inspiring you to open yourself up to that authentic fail. As you do so, you're going to start to build your self-confidence and believing that you can trust yourself for what you need. And what you need may be support. It may be tools. And most of all, a willingness, a humbleness to try no matter how many times you have in the past with success or with failures. I often get messages from past clients who are really being hard on themselves, or they're making it mean that there's something wrong with them that they couldn't continue when they were out on their own. And I always say, heck, my life coach, if I didn't have that weekly check-in, I would be spinning a lot more. I wouldn't just have a spin for an hour. I'd probably spin for a day. In fact, Monday, I came to my coaching session and I had a specific topic in mind, and I didn't even realize what I still needed to work on. We started with what I wanted coached on, but it wasn't long that she was able to show me what was really happening, and we went that level deeper. She helped me see that I needed more compassion and less judgment for still grieving something from years back that I thought I should know better. I've done the work. This still shouldn't be happening. So trust me, when I say I get it, I get it. I show up and help you without judgment, but with lots of compassion. I've learned and developed my coaching skills in having a powerful ability to hold space for anything that's coming up for you, so that together we can come up with the next best step for you. You can maneuver any obstacle, any problem that comes your way. And doing all that, showing up authentically failing and learning and getting back up and trying a different angle, all of that is going to take you towards that vibrant, charged, peaceful place in your mind. So if this is resonating with you right now and you think it'd be valuable, then I'd love to chat with you. No obligation, but you can see, would this be helpful for me? Is this my missing piece? How could this impact my life? How can this up-level my current thinking? Regardless of whether you say, yes, Clarinda, I'm in, let's do this. It's free. It's 20 minutes of your time, and you're going to leave feeling more hopeful, guaranteed. Remember, we're stronger together. That's how we were designed. We were designed to be in relationship. So please don't avoid failing by doing nothing and literally failing ahead of time from making your dreams your reality. You've nothing to lose and a lot to gain. So click on the link, check the schedule, and see if there is a time that will work for you. In fact, not just will, but that you can make work for you, because you are worth it. Your time, your energy, your life, your health are all worth it. So make it a beautiful week and try showing up authentically, just for one thing, starting right this moment. Okay? No delays. Now, do yourself the biggest favor. From love, take at least one action step from what you learned today. Knowledge without application won't give you the results that you desire. Let me know on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, wherever, what you are choosing to do and when. And yes, please leave a podcast review wherever you are listening to this. When people read your words and can see themselves in them, then you are contributing to women empowering other women. And that feels amazing. You just might change or save a life today.